Welcome to the Register's Report. My name is John Buckley. I'm the Register of Deeds of Plymouth County. This show is about Plymouth County real estate. We'll be starting by reporting on the activity at the Registry of Deeds for the month of August, this show being taped in September. I will have a great guest on the show, Bill Bachant of LaForce Real Estate. He's a realtor talking about the local real estate market and a couple other companies he's involved with. And we'll be talking about some of the history of Plymouth County. The first image you're going to see is of deeds. There were quite a number of deeds recorded in August. It was the second highest number of deeds which are sales of property recorded in 7 years. 1,237 deeds, up from 1,013 in July, up 5% from the 1,178 last August. So for 8 months in the calendar year, we're up 3%, which is a good showing and a good trend. Mortgages, we'll talk about, that's the next image. There were 2,093 mortgages recorded in August, more than the 1,749 recorded in July, down 13% compared to the 2,400 mortgages in August of last year. In year-to-date, 9%. People are certainly using mortgages to purchase property. The number of refinances has gone down, and that affects our numbers. Although the rates right now are still great, everyone's watching the Federal Reserve. They haven't really raised rates that much, despite a lot of talk about it. And you can still get rates in below 4, and that's good for either purchases or refinancing. Foreclosures are issues we follow quite closely. There were 81 foreclosure deeds recorded in August, more than the 47 in July, 14% higher than the 71 in August. Through the first 8 months of the year, we're down 4%, although there seems to be a little bump up in that market. A lot of lenders are just moving forward on foreclosure. They've been trying to navigate their way through changes in the law. And if you're facing difficulty in your ownership of your home, paying your bills, including your mortgage, make sure you reach out to a federal housing counselor to try to modify your loan. Don't wait. The faster you act, the better it is. Our foreclosure notices, 74 of those were recorded in August, more than the 65 in July. However, 48% lower than last August, and year-to-date down 27%. And the next image is of foreclosure deeds in notices per community. Brockton, Plymouth, and Wareham have been those communities most facing difficulty with people in those communities. Again, if you're facing difficulty, don't wait, reach out. So our training room will be open to the public again on October 5th, the first Thursday of every month. We do a free 2-hour training session, hands-on with computers, so you can search our site most efficiently. Be aware there's a property fraud alert for free you can sign up for. Our next office hours will be held at Kingston Town Hall on September 28th from 10 to noon. You don't have to be from Kingston to come see us. If you have any questions, if you want to record a discharge of a mortgage or come and file a homestead, you can do that on that day at Kingston Town Hall, and we look forward to seeing you. We do try to get out every month and go out to one of the towns, one of the 27 communities in Plymouth County. My guest on the next segment of my show is Bill Bachant of LaForce Real Estate, a realtor with whom we'll discuss the local real estate market, and we'll see you in the next segment.
Tonight, along the Texas Gulf Coast, utter devastation. Harvey barreled ashore overnight, packing 130-mile-an-hour winds, blinding sheets of rain, and a treacherous storm surge.
Harvey can't mess with Texas. So donate now to help make Texas whole again.
Welcome back to the Register's Report. Again, my name is John Buckley. I'm the Register of Deeds of Plymouth County. In this segment of the show, we always try to do something educational in nature. We've had surveyors, appraisers, assessors, commercial real estate brokers, and the most involved people in the real estate community are realtors. So I have a great guest on the show. I have Bill Bachant,
Bachant, yep.
Bachant of LaForce Real Estate. Bill,
Nice to meet
welcome. So Bill, I always start these shows with my guests and have you tell to our viewers, through me, a little bit about yourself, how you got in the real estate business.
I actually knew I wanted to be in real estate before even graduating high school, so I got my real estate license before I graduated high school,
Okay.
and became a builder, and basically the two go hand in hand. So we can offer that to our clients where I go in and I'll assess a property, whether it's good for them to buy or not, or I think they should just walk away, or give them advice as to what it's going to cost them to fix it.
So you wear a couple hats beyond just LaForce Realty. Do you want to mention those two companies?
Yes, we also own the gun orphanage, so sometimes when we have an estate, the people will need to sell the guns, and legally we have a federal firearms license. We buy those. We go in and we can assess the house if they need to do work on the house to get the most money, and then we can sell the house for them. So it's sort of the triple play.
So let's talk about LaForce Realty, to start at least. Why don't you tell our viewers when that started and what kind of area you cover and what kind of work you do?
Basically, we started in the year 2000. I was developing a lot of property at the time, and so I pretty much started it just to sell my own property and subdivisions and commercial. And what happened is, we just expanded, and now we have an office in Bourne, an office in Lakeville, we have an office in East Wareham, and we also own Swift's Beach Real Estate that does sales and rentals. So we pretty much run the full gambit. We'll sell businesses, commercial real estate, residential real estate, pretty much do everything. And we cover basically south of Boston. We're a member of the Cape Cod MLS as well. So yeah, we have a wide swath that we handle.
So how's your activity been over the course of the summer, which is rapidly coming to an end?
It's been fantastic. We had a tough time there for a while just keeping inventory. We've got a few things now, but it looks like I'd say we're going to be short of inventory in the next couple weeks, the way things are going.
Yeah, I know a lot of people have been complaining about the difficulty of inventory and the impact it has on creating inventory, because a lot of people are afraid if they sell their house, they don't know where they're going to find something to go.
Exactly. One of the advantages we have is that I develop property also,
Okay,
so
sure.
we'll do new construction as well as renovations. So we've got a couple coming online next week that are be nice housing stock. They'll be renovated and like
And
new.
where are those?
In Wareham and one in Lakeville.
Oh, great.
So yeah, we're looking forward to it. It's the market seems really good right now, and hopefully it's going to continue.
So what is the attitude on adding inventory by building homes? I've had a number of builders on the show over the years and give an assessment of the climate for building, and obviously there's a demand, right?
There's a demand. It's good right now. It's tough finding affordable land because things are so good. But yeah, as soon as we get them built, we get them sold.
So let's talk about the fall, where I think next week we make the official turn from summer to fall, although for most people whose kids have gone back to school, it's already fall. Where do you think we're going to go in the next few months?
Well, I thought it was going to slow down for like some of our stuff in the Cape Cod area, but it still seems to be going pretty strong, even now that the kids are back in school and everything. I think just the shortage of inventory is going to keep things going strong for at least the next few months.
So if you, I'd like to have your advice to give to the viewers. If you were a person who is looking for a house, what would you suggest that they be doing now to prepare themselves for the search?
First thing I would say is get pre-approved. Don't waste your time looking at something you are not approved to buy, because otherwise it's just going to get your hopes up, and then it's going to be dashed if you're not pre-approved. And then you really have to decide whether you're handy and you can take on a project that needs some work, or you just want to buy something that's completely done, turnkey, and you walk right in. That's a big issue right now, because I find a lot of times before people wanted sweat equity, they wanted to work on it. Nowadays, I'm finding less people in that program where they pretty much want to just turnkey, walk in and have it all done. So that's a big decision to make.
Yeah, and is it usually based upon school situations, family situations? When people come in, you have conversations with them. What kind of conversation do you have?
Well, I think it's more now it's knowledge, like who knows how to fix what. And yeah, if you have younger children, the school situation is the most important thing. So
you started LaForce Realty around 2000. Has the clientele changed in terms of their knowledge by internet search and things like that?
Most definitely. I mean, now the buyers are way more savvy when it comes to what's available on the market, what they can get for their money. They're always out there searching the internet, and so they have a good handle on what prices should be and what areas they want to look in. It's way better than before, because they have access now to pretty much MLS with all the internet sites out there. And before, you just were limited to whatever your broker could bring you. So now it adds a whole new facet to it.
So in regard to sellers, I mean, how do you go about finding the land that you're looking to build houses on?
We check MLS, but we also write letters.
Yeah.
We go down to the towns and find out, if someone's behind on their taxes, and write them a letter and say, hey, look, we're willing to help out. We can work a deal and get you out of tax problems and pay you some money and develop the property.
So who would have those lists?
Well, you can go down to the town hall and see
Collector's office, yeah.
and see who's defaulting on their
Okay,
taxes.
okay.
So
Interesting, yeah. Now, on the other flip side, if you have a person who's looking to sell, what do you advise them in terms of preparation for being ready to sell a house?
a lot of times I'll go in, and just give them a free assessment, and then I'll say, okay, these are a few things you really need to do, because the market is more of a millennial market where they don't want to do things. That most of the people want to walk into a turnkey situation nowadays. And so I'll give them a free assessment, and I'll say, this is how you can get the biggest bang for your buck to get the most return on your real estate. And I'll give them a laundry list of things, and they can choose to do them or not do them. And I can give them estimates as to what they're going to cost them, so they can gauge how much they're going to make more.
So for the viewers out there, what are the early, easy things you can do to kind of make your property look more valuable?
Curb appeal.
Yeah.
Clean up the yard, landscape it, and really, no clutter in the house. That helps immensely. More than any home improvement, those couple of things just do an immense amount of work, good to get your property value up.
So there's a concern out there about the percentage of home ownership, and in particular that the first-time home buyers are not moving forward at the pace that they had in previous generations. Any thoughts on how you entice first-time home buyers into the market?
I think, between the tax write-offs and, maybe they're a little leery because home appreciation was gone in 2008 to 2012, but properties are appreciating again. Yeah. And your home is your best investment, so.
And how do you usually deal with them in terms of, they usually come pre-approved when they're buying, so they've already got their lender and their situation organized on that?
Usually, sometimes we have to steer them in the right direction as to, what their credit is, what they have for a down payment. And then also, it does matter if they're on an FHA program, they can't buy a house with peeling paint, for instance. Mm-hmm. So we have to be aware of those things, too, to help them out and not bring them to a house that needs to be fixed up, unless, of course, they're going to get a 2 or 3K rehab loan. But
So why don't you share your contact information with the viewers? I mean, your phone, your email, and how to reach you?
Okay. Our main office is 508-295-7712. That handles all the different companies. And my cell phone number is on the answering machine. If you need my cell phone, it's 774-263-3134. We can handle anything for needs.
So get out your crystal ball, tell us where we're going to be over the next year, how it's going to, is it going to, the appreciation going to stop? Certainly sales are way up. We had a last month, the second highest number of sales in 7 years at the registry. Doesn't feel like that out there, but people are out there buying property. Where do you see us going through the fall and into next year?
Well, I think especially in our area here, God doesn't make any more land.
Right.
So I really see the next year as appreciating values, and I see the market still going strong.
Now, you can approach it a little different than a realtor as a builder. Let's talk about some of the barriers that builders face in terms of being able to get land moving into properties. How a lot of people complain that Massachusetts has a lot of restrictions that other places don't, and that impacts the value and cost of housing as well as the time it takes to build houses. Any thoughts on that?
Absolutely. Massachusetts, we have a lot to contend with besides infrastructure costs, sidewalks and all that. And we have proper drainage, but we also have to worry about the conservation issues, heritage issues with, species that are endangered. There's a lot of things to contend with. And the other thing we have here in our area, we have a 110 mile per hour wind code, which is different than anywhere else in the country, where we have to actually secure from the foundation to the top of the roof with steel all the way through. So it does add a considerable amount of money where everything has to be connected. I don't believe they had that down where they've been affected by the hurricanes.
Some of them maybe.
Some, but it's very strict here. And the insulation code is the strictest in the country, where we have blower door tests, and the houses sometimes are so tight you need air exchangers. So there's a lot more to it building in Massachusetts than building anywhere else in the country.
Yeah, so let's just give a little tip out there to anybody, what you would do if you were a young person starting out. How would you approach purchasing a home? Where would you go? You're kind of spread out a little bit. Lakeville, Wareham, what do you think of those marketplaces for new home buyers?
I think they're fantastic. Southeastern Massachusetts, I think, is a great place to live. First step is basically just deciding what area you're going to live that's going to be easy to commute from, I guess, and then getting pre-approved. And then you got to really decide whether you want to do some work yourself or you want to buy the house all done. So.
Great. So can you share your contact information one more time?
Sure. The main office number is 508-295-7712, and my cell number is 774-263-3134. You can go to LaForceRealty.com or BillBachantBuilders.com.
Anything else you want to add on your three companies?
I do enjoy when I get to use all three companies for the same customer.
Sure.
We pride ourselves on, one of the great things about the real estate company especially is we all work together as a team. So when you hire us, you hire the whole company. Right. And everybody works together. There's no infighting or whatever. We're all a team effort to make sure it happens and happens right.
Right.
And we've held some deals together that no way we've made it happen.
So where's your next project going to be?
Next project, hopefully we'll be doing a subdivision over in Middleborough.
Great.
And then we've got a renovation in Lakeville, and we've got two renovations in Lakeville that are going to be starting next week.
Great. Yeah, those are growing towns.
Yeah. Yep.
Clearly, although land is getting more competitive to find good land, we still have a lot of places in Plymouth County where there is room to grow.
Yes.
And that's why we're a growing county. Well, Bill, thank you very much for coming on the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Great. That's good.
Recently, our country has witnessed catastrophic devastation. Hurricanes and flooding have upended lives and livelihoods.
Across this great country, Americans have answered the call.
That special calling that compels us, when others are down, to step up and do whatever it takes.
America's at her best when, against all odds, we come together and lift each other up.
Please donate to oneamericaappeal.org. America needs you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome back to the Register's Report. Again, my name is John Buckley. I want to thank Bill Bachant of LaForce Realty, a multi-hatted person from the three different things he talked about, being a builder and the gun collecting part of helping people move from their property. In this segment, we always try to do something a little lighter in nature. We talk about some of our history, the holidays in the month of September. The 4th was Labor Day, the 10th, Grandparents' Day. We celebrated that tragic event, 9/11, which happened 16 years ago. The 18th, National Cheeseburger Day. The 20th, Rosh Hashanah. And the 30th, Yom Kippur. We're going to go right to one of our notable land records. We have a land record collection of very famous people and places in Plymouth County. We're always looking for more. If you have an idea, please give me a call in your town or your community. The first one you're going to see is a new one. It's of Dewey Stone. He was a Brockton person who was a leader in the establishment of the State of Israel. He was a leader in both Brockton and the Jewish communities. He served in World War I and went to BU, got a business degree, worked in the family business for many years, Converse Rubber Company. But his role in the funding of the ship Exodus and his relationship with Harry Truman's business partner was what led, in part, to the establishment of Israel. During the 1947-48 United Nations debate over a separation of the Arab states to allow a Jewish state, he was very involved in getting President Truman, through his business partner, to lend his support to that effort, and hence the State of Israel. He was a founder of the Weizmann Institute of Science. The Stone Science Building at Boston University is named after him and his brother, Judge Harry Stone, clearly well-recognized individual. The next person we're going to bring forward, someone we talked about before, a great Plymouth County resident, Daniel Webster. The reason he's being brought forward is soon you will see the opening of the new Plymouth Town Hall. It was very famous in 1820 when Daniel Webster came down and spoke at an event at the opening of the courthouse at the time. He's a very famous Massachusetts person, although he was born in New Hampshire and served as a congressman before he came down to Boston to practice law and got into being the United States Senator and Secretary of State numerous times. And he was a person very involved in keeping the Union together prior to the Civil War. There's been a lot of talk about boxing lately. The big event that happened recently with Merriweather winning the 50th undefeated fight brought forward a lot of stories about the great Rocky Marciano, who was 49-0 before he retired. 43 of his fights were by knockouts. He fought in the heavyweight division, however, and certainly many people will not give up his claim to that. His family home on Dover Street is still recognized for where he grew up. And in 2005, the Brockton Historical Society designated the property as a historical landmark. I want to thank the folks here at PAC TV for letting me do this show. David Antoine and Ben Alexander in particular, Lorna Green Baker and Christine Richards from my office for helping me put this show together. I think it's important that we share with people what is happening with their most valuable asset for most people, their real estate, and we'll see you next month. Thank you.